the Yamaha STAGEPAS 1K. I just got it in today, so I thought I'd do a quick unboxing video. I will say the box does look a little rough around the edges. Came UPS, can't say they're the greatest box handlers. I am a little worried about this one here. It's a pretty big gash in the side of the box, and I can feel in here that is where the grill is. So hopefully the grill's not scratched and dented. I've got my Mackie SRM-Flex set up over here because kind of the whole reason behind buying this guy is I'm looking for something with the simplicity of this. You know, it's really easy to operate with the knobs on the back. Looking for something with the simplicity of this, but where I would just maybe get a little bit more out of it for my rental customers. Because I rent this out pretty regularly with my DIY karaoke rental. And then also just over time, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on the video, but just over time, this has kind of almost developed a weird little curve back. And it's almost like the grill is too tight. Like it's oddly starting to bulge out here for some reason. It's bulging out here, and it's just causing it to tip back and shoot up. So, it's bulging out on this one too. Not that it's been like a really big issue, but just kind of an odd quality control thing, I suppose. Maybe poor designing, I'm not quite sure, but obviously something I'm having a little bit of an issue with, so I don't really want to invest any more money in these, even though I do kind of like it. But I was just thinking Yamaha is probably going to be a little bit better quality, we'll say. Now, first of all, I do want to give a shout out to kpodj.com. That is where I ordered this from. And I figured I'm going to start doing shout outs when I buy something on a retail channel, like a standard retail channel instead of from one of my distributors. There's a few brands that I'm an actual dealer for, and then most of my brands I get through distributors. But this one, I was doing a little price shopping, and I ended up getting they have a wholesale membership, but you can just get a free VIP membership with Capo, or kpodj.com. And it wound up being $80 cheaper because my distributor, if I only want to order one, they charge me shipping. So I actually, with the free VIP membership, it wound up being like $80 cheaper through KPO. And then with their top tier wholesale membership that you do have to pay for, it ended up being like $150 cheaper than going through one of my distributors, which I thought was kind of weird. Well, kind of weird, but it worked out well because I ended up saving some money on this thing. So anytime I order a product through a retail channel, I think I'll give a shout out to the retailer just because you can save some money buying there too. So anyways, kpodj.com. I'll throw a link to this product down in the YouTube description so you can go right to it. I don't get a kickback or anything. Strictly to save you some cash. So it comes with the cover right on top. Columns fit in the front. Velcro handle on the top. Two really nice big pouches in the back there. I'm pretty impressed with that. I am not going to buy the dolly plate board thing. I think I don't even know why they make it for this. I've often wondered, like, JBL does the same thing. They sell well, JBL annoys me because they don't give the cover for free. You have to buy the whole dolly plate thing, the whole assembly together, which I assume it's just so that they can make money. But so far seems to be packed pretty decent. Alright, then we got the columns over here. I'll unwrap those in a minute. Pretty light. Oh, this one's got some pretty good weight to it. Actually quite surprising when you... Oh no, maybe they're about the same. They're pretty close. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't buy one of these sooner. And I'll be honest. I'm a huge fan of the Yamaha STAGEPAS series. Like, I own 3 of the STAGEPAS 600 BTs, and they're like my #1 rental because they're just so easy, so compact for rental customers. You know, a lot of people that just don't know much about pro audio, like a standard powered speaker kind of confuses them. So the STAGEPAS systems just are super awesome for just rental simplicity. But the big reason I didn't buy one of these right away, it caught my eye right away, but big reason I didn't buy one right away is the top array speakers. It kind of boggles my mind why they went with, I think it's 10 1.5-inch drivers, where this uses like 6 2-inch drivers. And most column arrays at their smallest use 2-inch drivers. But Yamaha went even smaller than that and went with 1.5-inch drivers. And to me, that's kind of mind-boggling because, you know, a lot of the complaints that people have with these column arrays is just that they lack kind of like the low mids. You know, the top just doesn't do enough and too much comes out of the bottom. And then there's just a hollow gap in there in the low mids that's just empty. And I don't know, I just don't see how 1.5-inch drivers can go very low. But I think, let's see here. I always complain about the guys on YouTube that grab the manual and just start reading it, so obviously I'm going to grab the manual and just start reading it. I want to think the crossover point on the Mackie, it's super high. I think it's like 600 hertz, which is just insane. But it doesn't sound that bad. But I was looking to see the specs section. I want to think it's like 280 hertz on this, on the 1K. Maybe. If they even have it in here. Well, who needs those troublesome speaker specs? Oh, way in the back. Page 51. I always got to look at the table of contents. Main specifications, crossover frequency 240. So I thought it was 280, but 240, that's pretty low for 1.5-inch drivers. Oh, let's take a gander at the grill here. Actually, no damage whatsoever to the grill. Little something funky going on there with the plastic. But, you know, the interesting thing about the Yamaha is it's plastic, but they like coated it with the same stuff they coat their wooden speakers with. At least that's what it feels like. Maybe it's just a crazy new way to mold plastic, but I believe the plastic on here is like regular standard plastic, but sprayed with their tough coat stuff. So it actually has like a wood appearance to it. Oh, let's start throwing this together and do a little side by side here. I mean, right off the bat, obviously the Yamaha is a 12-inch, so I knew everything was going to be a little bigger, but I'll probably do maybe a little video cut to show the back. But kind of surprising like how similar this is to that. Just the simplicity of the interface. And that's really what I was going for. I'll be interested to do the side-by-side listening test because the Mackie's rated at 118 dB max SPL, I believe. And this is 119, so it's like 1 dB more. But one of my buddies has a Bose L1 Pro 8, and the L1 Pro 8 is rated at the same 118 dB as this one, and it just knocks it out of the park. Like, probably 30 to 40% louder than the Mackie. And if you watch some of my other videos where I talk about Mackie products, I like their mixers, but they are just not on the level with their speaker specs. You know, I went from DAS and I bought, or DAS Action 12As, and I bought the Mackie DRM 212, and it's rated at 3 dB louder. And I sent them out with one of my DJs, and they were like, dude, these aren't as loud as the DAS. And he asked to go out with the DAS next time. And that's kind of the issue with Mackie is I don't understand where they come up with their specs. So realistically, I've got some pretty high hopes for the Yamaha because I think they're a little bit more straight up with their specifications on speakers. You know, I will say, just right off the bat, it just feels better. Like they did a better job making this. Not too bad on the column wobble. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want somebody to grab onto it and try to hang on for dear life, but I think hopefully you can get a good view of those in the camera. I'll spin this to the side, spin this to the side. Now obviously, like I said, the Mackie's a 10-inch, this is a 12-inch, but height-wise they look pretty close. You know, if this whole thing is an array of speakers, I'm about 5'9"-ish. You know, you definitely wouldn't want a 6-foot-tall guy standing right in front of your column, but that's kind of the issue with all these columns with fixed columns instead of poles. But so far it looks good. I'm going to power it on and listen to a little bit of music with it. I'm obviously in my home office down in my basement, and it's a condo, so I got people living next to me, and it is 12:07 a.m. So I probably will not be cranking these up very loud tonight, but I'm going to do a little sound comparison with them. But initial thoughts right out of the box, I mean, Yamaha in general, I mean, this feels exactly like the STAGEPAS mixer. The knobs feel the same. I don't know. I'm excited to give this thing a try. I'll come back with some thoughts in another video. Until next time, have a good day.